Welcome back to the shop, everybody. Today we're here working on my 1987 Rx7 on the project that never gets closer to being done. It only gets more complicated. So today we've got a few things cooking. Now the entire goal of this project is to kind of modernize what we've got going on right about here on the Rx7. And one of the things that we're going to be focusing on today is modernizing this guy right here. As you guys can see, the Rx7 comes stock with V-belts, which is old tech, not necessarily great. Now, V-belt system, while it's down and dirty and it works, you know, it makes everything spin that has to, they're really easy to make slip, and it's just old tech, and I probably won't be able to find those V-belts around for very much longer. So today, we're swapping to a multi-rib belt like most any car nowadays has. And we're gonna kind of bring this Rx7 into the 2000s instead of the 80s. But while we're in there, we also have another little thing that we're going to be doing. Because not only is the fact that it uses a V-belt antiquated, also this crank position sensor is old, not necessarily the type that I want to be using, and there's better stuff out there nowadays. So with the swap to a multi-rib belt system, we're also going to be swapping to a reluctor wheel Hall effect sensor style crank sensor, which is going to feed us much cleaner data to the ECU and make sure that this thing runs clean and safe the entire time. Now the multi-groove belt kit that I got comes from Atkins Rotary, and it actually just comes with 3 pulleys that go ahead and replace the old pulleys on the drive system. So we have a pulley for the eccentric shaft, one for the alternator, and one for the water pump. The only thing that's different about this, and not necessarily super ideal, is that it doesn't allow you to use power steering or AC. So if you have both of those things and want to keep them, you can't use this kit. However, I didn't have AC before. I might run it in a slightly different way, and power steering, I have something kind of cool planned for that, so I'm not going to worry about having a belt system that can handle either of those things. So I'm just going to go ahead and slap this thing on. Of course, crank pulley, I can just pull that one off because that's not bolted on. The alternator I'm going to have to take off with a gun, so let's get into it. That's not great. All right, so I ran into a slight issue installing the multi-rib belt system onto the alternator. So I think what's going on is that I have an aftermarket alternator because I got this thing at Napa a good little while ago. So it's probably been rebuilt. It's probably not the same components that a factory alternator uses. So what's actually going on is that the inside bore of this pulley does not match up to the diameter of the shaft. As you can see, there's a lot of play in there. And when this thing is spinning 8,000 RPMs, I don't necessarily want to be guessing if I got that pulley aligned or not. So I think my plan is I'm going to take measurements of the shaft and take measurements of the pulley itself. The spacer that they gave me is the same basic issue. It has a lot of play on the shaft itself, but I can take the measurement of how deep I need to make that to make sure that the pulley sits the right way in like this general direction. But I need to find out basically a way to make a hub-centric spacer for this thing. I don't think it should be too hard. I think a couple little measurements and that should be super easy to make on CAD, and then hopefully I'll be able to probably 3D print a prototype just to make sure that all my dimensions and everything are right, and then send that off to a fab shop and find somebody with a lathe that can cut that out for me. Now it just so happens that I might have tried to install this in the past and I might have run into the same issue. So I might have already designed the piece that I need to fix that. As you can see, this is our guy. It's just a little spacer. It's got a little shoulder on it to have something to sit on for the pulley, but we can go ahead and throw that on there, throw the pulley on there, and you can see that's a perfect fit. Now this is 3D printed. I still haven't sent it off to the machine shop to actually get one made out of aluminum or steel or something, but that'll be coming soon. That can just go on in the background. But we've got that actually installed now. So we can finish this install for now and then just hopefully remember to replace that in the future. Because I don't think, I mean, it's PET G, so it's like, it's a pretty good temperature filament. I don't think it's enough to be sitting on the snub of an alternator. But if I forget, I guess we'll find out. Try to make sure that I don't forget though. I'm going to go ahead and bolt this thing up and then we can move on to installing the trigger kit. Alright, so now we can go ahead and remove our crank sensor, which is this big old behemoth. So as you guys can see, this is actually just geared to the eccentric shaft inside of the front cover. Now if you look at this thing, it basically just looks like a distributor without a cap on it, and looks like they just used the sensor section of it, and that's because that's exactly what it is. On the older rotaries, these things had distributors coming right out of there that just took care of firing the spark plugs. But on the newer ones, of course, EFI and all that kind of stuff, we got these crank sensors to replace them. Now this is better than the stuff that we had in the 70s, but nowadays we can do a lot better. Now what I have to replace that is a kit from Full Function Engineering that comes with a trigger wheel that sits on the front pulley and a crank position sensor that's a lot more of a modern style crank position sensor. This is what's called a Hall effect sensor. It outputs a digital signal, which is a lot cleaner to read at lower RPMs and helps with starting. And it is probably just a more reliable sensor, a lot less susceptible to electronic noise. So I think it's going to be the right choice for this build. Now all I have to do is get this thing bolted up. I probably have to take these two studs off and then throw everything together, but honestly it's going to be a pretty easy install. Alright, so that was an easy enough install. You guys can see this just bolts right to the front pulley. You don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. This bolts to the side of the front cover, so obviously that's where our power steering bracket would sit. So that means we can't run power steering or AC because of both the reluctor wheel and the multi-rib kit. Either way, I probably wasn't going to run any of that kind of stuff because I just love this view of the engine where you can see all of it and it just looks delicious. So making sure that we have functioning AC and power steering are going to be problems for a different day, but not necessarily problems that I haven't thought of at this point. So if you guys liked the video, make sure to leave a like and a comment. I love seeing what you guys are thinking about these builds while I'm in the shit of them. And if you didn't like it, then dislike it and still comment because I still need the engagement. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.